Okay.
Ready?
Yes, Madam Chair, we are now live on YouTube.
Okay, so everyone, thank you for coming. Our first application is a request for an alteration of application for liquor, wine, beer, and cider for Parkville Corporation doing business as Park Asia. It is located at 811 66th Street. It is expanding into the adjacent attached building. This attached building will operate as a catering hall. As I can see, if I am correct me, of course, Josephine, that the owners, Timmy, also known as Ying Chen, also known as Timmy, Maggie Gu, and Stephen Schaefer are the co-owners. The application does not yet have a certificate of occupancy, but the application states that there is a capacity for 100 people. There will be 86 seats with 13 tables. Photos and a floor plan was provided. There will be private parties, as this will be a catering hall.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
What is that?
I don't know.
Somebody's computer, I guess, right? All right, so there may be a DJ as these events, as a catering hall may require.
Enter your participant ID.
There is no menu provided in
Enter
this
the meeting
application.
password followed
There
by
is
pound.
no adverse history associated with this address. And
You have joined the
just as
meeting
an
as an
aside,
attendee and will be
that
muted
either a body
throughout the
wrote a
meeting.
letter in support of this business expansion. What is that noise?
Yeah, it's
Somebody please mute. Could we have everybody muted?
yeah, let me okay. I think we're all muted now.
No. Enzo's not, Neil's not, Schaefer, Caraballo, and Dr. O'Malley. They're still on. So somebody's got
Okay.
stuff going on.
Not me.
Stephen, Carol, Anthony, Schaefer. Thank you. So either, anyone is welcome to just describe or speak about your business from this establishment. Timmy or Stephen or Maggie, you want to say anything? Unmute if you want to.
Can you hear me?
We do with an echo.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
10 times.
I can't hear you. But can you hear me? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We are Park Asia. This is a expansion into an adjacent property that we're going to use as a banquet hall. It does not have a standalone kitchen, as you can see in the picture there. The white is the new building. The yellow is the existing building. And we want to use the existing space as a banquet hall for parties that are either too big or customers want privacy from the main restaurant. The buildings are attached. We'll utilize the same kitchen, and we're hoping to have the existing liquor license cover both locations.
Yeah, just a question. When you have your private parties, the manager or the owners will be there at all times? Stephen? Was that Stephen or Timmy?
Hi, yeah, this is Maggie Gu.
Hello,
Yes.
Maggie.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah, we are here all the time, 24/7.
Okay, because sometimes we have owners that say, well, I had a private party, I wasn't there. So we need you to be there to assure us that the proper, behavior will go on with the liquor license and people not smoking and just, the proper supervision.
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Write that down. Okay, can you describe for me the entrances and exits to this establishment? Because it's, it has a large capacity. If there were a fire or something will happen, is there another exit or entrance that people describe your doors to us?
I can finally hear you. So we have two front doors leaving 811 location, and then there's an adjacent service door that is connected to the Park Asia location.
And it goes into the other building.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's correct.
all right. Okay, anything from the committee that'd like to ask?
Yeah, I have a question. Is that the same place that a couple of years ago we said that was too long or too deep and there was a difficulty for emergency exit?
No, no, that Nick, that was next door. It was a different location.
It was a different location?
Yeah. This is attached to the existing Park Asia restaurant. The site you're talking about was next door. And it was a standalone garage that had a small door. This establishment, the entire front is open. It's very different.
Okay.
And we had a meeting at Park Asia. They happily hosted the community board at a meeting, so we got to see it firsthand. It's connected to the main building, and there's a very large entrance at the front.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions from the board?
Ruth?
Yeah, I'm not clear about the exits, so could we see the diagram with
Yeah,
the entrances and exits to both buildings?
sure. Ruth, so where the arrow is, that large front is a large entrance. And then within the building, oh, actually, you can't see it here from this picture, but to the side here, only because I was there, there's a door that leads you to another large door that leads you to the restaurant. That's right next door.
Okay, great. Any further discussion?
Sandy?
The expansion of the restaurant, from what I heard, is going to be for a catering hall. Does the expanded area have any soundproofing? Because obviously, if there's going to be catering halls, there's going to be DJs and amplified music.
The building itself is concrete. So we've added curtains along the walls for noise dampening.
Is the curtain enough to keep the sound within the building?
Generally, yes.
I don't know. All right.
Are there any other like residents or businesses directly attached? Where the
No.
music would be,
One-story
you
building.
know, reverberating and
Yeah,
disturbing the
it's-
neighbors or the tenants. And there's no tenants, but is there like another business like right next door that they would be disturbed by a DJ party?
No.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Sandy's getting at. All right.
Hmm.
Anything else?
Jill?
I'm just curious again about the exits. I know that you said the building that they're proposing to connect to the original restaurant. So all of the exits are at the front of the building. So if there's any kind of problem at the front of the building with a fire or some kind of problem exiting the front, there are no exits to the rear or the sides
The
to
side, there's,
access outdoors, I mean.
yeah.
Access outdoors, not to access the indoor of the other restaurant, but to access the outdoor to the back and to the sides. That's all. That's my only question.
I think what Josephina said, it goes right into the main restaurant.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it is
So
very,
right.
This-
very large. I have to say, I mean, the whole front is open, very different than just a single door that
Okay.
we looked at in the building next door. The entire frontage is open.
Okay.
I mean, it's all open.
Okay.
And we were there because we happened to be there at the Traffic and Transportation Committee meeting. So the entire front, I mean, I could go back to the picture, and then there's a very large opening to the side, which is like an alley, and then into the, into the main restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is different also than some of the karaoke houses that we were concerned about because there's only,
It's-
they're
it's all
expecting
open.
86 people. at their capacity. This is not one where they have individual private rooms and they would notify each one, and you have tight walking. I mean, you can see that there's a lot of room for people to walk.
I mean, yeah, you could see, right. It's not subdivided and
Right.
again, the front, I mean, you could see it in this picture. I'm sorry, I didn't have one with the door open in, but the entire front is open. This is all open.
Right. All right.
You want to
Um,
just put the floor plan up and then we could see the way it looks? Yeah, right.
Yeah, see, here's the side opening, and you see how open this is here? It's all open.
Everyone has to go to the front. There's nothing in
yeah,
the back.
I think that's where the concern might be here, because if you're all the way to the back, which is very deep into the room, it might be a difficult in case of an emergency to come to the
Right,
side.
but we don't have 280 people the way it was going to be in the other establishment with people in individual rooms. This is maybe, 4 or 5 people at a table. Different. Okay. All right. I'll, any recommendations, I could read to you what I have, and you can tell me what you think, okay?
Fine.
You like that, right, Judith?
Yes.
After a discussion period, I ask that we deny this application to the owners. That's what we do. We say we deny the application unless you are agreeing to the following stipulations, the following recommendations. One, that this premise will operate as a restaurant / catering hall. And I'm going to write that down because it's attached to the restaurant. That a certificate of occupancy be acquired. That there will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premise until appropriate authorization is issued by the SLA. As you have written, the hours of operation will be Sunday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., and the manager will be there at all times. That there will only be background recorded music and or a DJ, and the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be no music amplified on the outside of the premises. There will be no outdoor use. You will not have any promoter or promoted events. There will be no smoking permitted. That as you have your windows, that there will be at least a 20% visible view into the establishment at eye level. Sometimes that's called glazing, so we can look in to see what's going on, or the police, in case of an incident, the police would be able to look in. And that you agree that should you change your method of operation, that you will give advance notice and meet with the community board and the committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. So that's to Stephen and Timmy and Maggie. Do you agree to those stipulations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josephine will call you. Josephine, what is the meeting date of our general board meeting?
I believe it's December 20th. Hold on, let me just double
Okay.
check. Yes, December 20th.
Okay, so you're welcome to join in again with that. But Josephine will call you to officially sign these stipulations. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Take care.
much.
Barbara, did you make that in the form of a motion?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot. We have to vote.
Good
All
point,
those-
Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
If
I
you
need
made
you,
that,
Sandy.
if you made that as a motion, I'll second it.
Okay, so
Okay.
I need somebody to make that in the form of a motion. I put the motion out.
Okay, I'll make it in the form of a motion then.
All right,
I'll second.
okay. I'm not able to vote, Josephine. It's not
I
taking-
can't vote either.
You can't vote?
It says host and panelists cannot vote.
All right, let's do it by show of hands then. All in favor?
Okay.
Okay. Any opposed? Having seen none, and abstentions or recusals? No, motion carries.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Second business on our agenda this evening is a request for a new application for liquor, beer, wine, and cider for Fravima Corporation, doing business as Bonacera Restaurant and Pizzeria, located at 6522 through 6524 11th Avenue. This is a new application. For this has been a full restaurant. The owner, Vincent Triolo, is present. Anthony Bianchi is the attorney. Is he here with us this evening? I don't see him. I don't think so, right?
No.
Okay, I have him as not present. This establishment application for wine was approved last November 2020. It has a certificate of occupancy. There were no photos or menu provided with this application, but we had it from the last application.
Crazy.
Well, that wasn't with me. When I got it. It's
We're
here now.
approved, but I mean, a lot.
I didn't have that when I reviewed it. So you have the photos. The photos, I was there a few nights ago. There is no plastic. It's a full working restaurant. I'll write that down.
I took that from last time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. There will be outdoor dining as long as New York State and New York City COVID-19 practices remain in effect. I've taken that from the last application, since they do have the outdoor seating available because of COVID. Otherwise, there was no notation about having any other outdoor dining after the COVID restrictions perhaps end. There will be only background recorded music, and there is no adverse history with this address. Does the Mr. Triolo want to say anything?
We're doing okay. It's just that, we decided to apply for the liquor license also.
Yeah, okay.
Everything remains the same.
No, okay.
Try to do our best.
Yep, it was very nice. Board members, any questions? Anything you want to say pertaining to the expansion of the license? Okay, so having no more discussion, the committee, I asked to move that we, as usual, deny this application unless the owner agrees to the following stipulations: that the premises operates as a restaurant, that there will be no sale or consumption of liquor or alcohol other than the wine that it has been approved on the premises by the SLA, that your hours of operation continue as you have written, Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. I think there was a change from the first application. And Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 midnight. The doors and windows are to remain closed in coordination with any amplified music. That there will only be background recorded music and the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be no music amplified on the outside of the premises. You will not have any promoter or promoted events. There will be no outdoor use other than what is allowed by New York State, New York City COVID practices. That there will be no smoking permitted. That there will be at least a 20% view visible into the establishment at eye level, and you have more than that. And that you as an applicant agree, as you have done now, that should you change your method of operation, that you would give notice and meet with the community board or committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. Do you agree to these stipulations?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Josephine will call you.
We have to
let's get our
vote.
Votes in.
Barbara, we have to vote.
I got it.
See if it works now.
It works now.
Okay, this is for board members.
Do we need a motion now?
I just did that.
We need a second.
Second.
Sandy, Marty, second, and okay, so I'm going to share the results. All in favor? It's unanimous.
Very good.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
okay,
care.
thank you.
Thank
too.
you too.
Okay, the third applicant on our agenda is Gohan Sushi, requesting for a new application for liquor, beer, wine, and cider. It is located at 533 86th Street.
Yes.
I'm getting these. Why am I getting? Is that me or you, Josephine?
I don't know.
No, I was getting these advertisements.
Oh, I don't know. This
Okay.
is the
Yeah,
next,
that's it. Yeah, list the storefront.
Right.
right.
Swirl and Fun now is Gohan Sushi. Okay. So this is a new application for a full liquor license. The owner, Jin Cheng Liu. Is that you?
Oh no, I'm the representative. It's not for full liquor. It's a beer and wine.
Okay, so you're James Wang?
Yes, James Wang. Yes, right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a restaurant wine.
Restaurant wine. Yes, right.
Okay. Let me just write it down. Okay. And you are, oh, so this owner was a manager of the Roast Inc. So he does have some prior experience in the food service business at the Roast Inc. located at 5124 8th Avenue in Brooklyn. The building does have a certificate of occupancy. For me, I did not have any photos of the interior provided with the application when I had it. There was a menu, and there will not be any outdoor dining. There will only be background recorded music. The application states that the restaurant's capacity is 48 persons. There will be 20 seats and 6 seats at the bar. And there is no adverse history associated with this address. Above, you see a copy of the floor plan. Okay. Does the attorney want to say anything for the owners?
Oh no, just I'm here just we'll answer any question if you have. Yeah.
Okay. Board members, do you have any questions for Mr. Wang? Okay, I don't see any hands go up. All right. So after reviewing the application, I move that we deny this application unless the owner, and here he's represented by his attorney, agrees to the following stipulations. That the premise will operate as a restaurant. There will be no sale or consumption of alcohol in this premise until appropriate authorization is issued by the SLA. As they indicated, the hours of operation will remain 11 a.m. to 12 midnight, and that they have indicated 7 days a week. The doors and windows are to remain closed in coordination with any amplified music. There will only be background recorded music, and the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be no outdoor use. There will be no music amplified on the outside of the premise. There will be no promoter or promoted events. There will be no smoking permitted. There will be at least 20% visible view into the establishment at eye level. And you as an applicant agree that should you change the method of operation, you will give notice to the community board and committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. And that is my motion for the committee. Would you agree to that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So with that motion on the table, I ask for a second.
Second.
Thank you, Judith. Okay, so Josephine, we need the vote.
Okay, it's up on the screen.
Got it. Thank you, Josephine.
You're welcome. Okay, everyone's voted. It is unanimous. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. The next is a new application for on-premise liquor, wine, beer, and cider for Downtown Yummy Restaurant, doing business as BK Seafood Market, located at 842 64th Street in Brooklyn, of course. The owner is Shuntai Liu. Is Shuntai Liu present?
Yes, we are all present.
Okay, that's Anthony Carabello, the attorney.
Yes, I'm not, clarification, I'm not an attorney, expediter, consultant, but yes, my name is Anthony Carabello. Shantai Liu is here, and his assistant interpreter, Tracy Gu, is with us also.
Okay. Got it. And you're an expediter. Okay, I didn't notice that on the application. I might have missed that. The application notes that this is a transfer of the license, which will expire on August 31st, 2023. What is the name and address of the premise that this license is attached to?
Yes. So it's Tian Fu Lin Inc., same address, and they filed in 2019. And they have an active license.
Okay.
Which I gave in the packet. I gave a copy of the state liquor.
Yeah, spell that TIANFULIN
Inc.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Anthony, is that a full on-premise?
Yes. Hi, Ms. Beckman. Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, it is. It's an on-premises. That's the existing license, the premises right now.
Okay.
Okay. This building has a certificate of occupancy. There were photos and a floor plan provided with this application. There was a menu. There will be no outdoor dining. There will only be background recorded music. And the application states that the restaurant's capacity is 186 persons in total, which includes the mezzanine level and the first floor. There will be 136 seats and 27 tables, and there is no adverse history associated with this address. So as I did with the other, if you were here a little bit earlier, the other establishment that had a large number of people, can we discuss the number of entrances and exits in this establishment? Just that this is another large place.
Yes, absolutely. And first and foremost, thank you for giving all the details, which took a little off my plate tonight, Chairperson Barber. Thank you so much.
That's what they pay me for.
Usually I have to do all that. So essentially it's if you look at the diagram, basically there is egress, separate, distinct egress to the left of the premises as you walk in. There's a hallway that leads out to the premises. So you have the original entrance egress and you have that additional egress. Obviously, they're in full compliance. They have a certificate of occupancy issued by the Department of Buildings, and they do have that additional egress that you asked about.
Okay, there's nothing in the back.
Nothing in the back.
Okay. All right. Committee, board members?
Barbara,
Yeah.
those big garage doors, are those exits also?
Well, that's the entranceway, correct? The garage doors. They're not really, that's the way you get
Yeah, the
in.
garage door, we can, it's could be fully open.
Yeah, that's the entrance to the restaurant, sir.
That's the entrance to the restaurant. And what about the two smaller brown doors?
Are those part of your establishment there? Is that egress?
Oh,
Additional?
no. This way is the egress door.
So the egress is to the left
This
if
one.
you're facing the premises, and those two large openings are the primary entrance and exit, and it has the additional egress. They don't control the two doors to the right, correct?
This way is the utility.
Okay,
On the right-hand side is the utility room. On the left-hand side is the egress corridor coming out.
okay. So the utility room can also be egress as well,
No,
correct?
no.
It's
Just this one.
okay. And what's this other guy over that part of you guys?
Oh, that's the next door.
Okay, that's next door. Yep.
So you have the two garage doors that are open and closed. You
Yes.
have a big enough space where if you needed to evacuate the restaurant quickly, a large amount of people could probably get through those doors very easily, I assume.
Yes,
Certainly,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
have the other egress, which is a separate corridor, which I think was required because of the size of the
Yeah.
space.
Also, the plan was approved by the building department.
And what kind of fire suppression system do you have for the restaurant?
So that's a PA, so they have to have sprinklers,
Yeah.
correct?
Sprinklers?
It's not the sprinkler is not required for the
Okay.
restaurant, for this size of the restaurant.
Okay.
Under 5,000 square feet, under 300 people, it's not required.
Okay,
And we are under that
gotcha.
number.
So fire suppression in the kitchen
Yeah.
is fully licensed and filed. You know, it's an existing licensed restaurant with an active certificate of occupancy. So they're just assuming that the premises with all these licenses and permits that are legal and lawful.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me is that you don't have anything in the back. So if there were some kind of emergency or fire in front of the building, you'd have those two entrances blocked, and basically you'd have the patrons trapped inside the restaurant.
Well, I would add to that, you know, obviously there were inspections done and they are in compliance. So the layout of the premises, yeah,
The fire-
you know, they're
yes,
licensed
fire
already.
code
This is
and
not a
everything
newest.
was compliant.
We have a C of O, the fire code is in compliance, the fire suppression system in the kitchen. I mean, they're taking over a place that has all these permits lawful.
And the kitchen is in the back.
Right, it's all the way in the back, and also the kitchen is wrapped with a 2-hour fire rated wall. It's protected.
Right, so Sandy,
Yeah,
the chance
I
of
got
having a
it.
fire in the front is not.
Yeah.
And this is not, one of those crazy places where somebody, God forbid, you have somebody, you need
And
bouncers and
Bob-
things like that.
Barbara,
in the front.
did you say that they don't plan on having DJs or amplified music?
No.
Background
Just
music.
background music.
Just background. All right, because those two big doors would be a problem if it was amplified music. Okay, I'm
Correct.
done.
Correct.
Yeah, this
Thank
is if I could just add, this is a restaurant. Shun Tai Lu has over 30 years experience. He had a place in Manhattan. He's been licensed by the Liquor Authority before. If you look at the layout, there's no room for anything of that nature. And they're going to change their cuisine a little. They're going to specialize in seafood. There's a vast menu if you look at your packet, and they're going to concentrate on today's catch. The restaurant's going to focus on fresh seafood. There'll actually be tanks in the area where you can pick out your seafood. It's going to be freshly prepared.
Okay. Jill, you had a question?
Yeah, well, it's not a question. I just want to reiterate what Sandy had said. I'm always concerned when there's no back entrance, regardless of where the kitchen is. If the kitchen fire started in the back and there's a big, push to the front, there are people in the back that might not be able to get out. I know that they already have a C of O. I know that there is already a restaurant there. I just think that, at some other point in time, we should start to talk about what policies the fire department has and the city has for establishments like this that are large, that don't have any exit to the back or to the sides. And I too am concerned, thinking back on the Rhode Island fire in that big club, when everybody's rushing to one spot and only one spot, and there's no other spots to exit. That's just a concern of mine. It's always a concern of mine. And I just wanted to mention that to put it on the record.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else?
Dr. O'Malley has his hand raised.
He does. I don't see it.
Dr. O'Malley, did you want to say something? You're on mute.
How about now?
You could hear you.
Okay, those two entrances outside, the customers can go in and out through either one, or one
Yes.
of them entrance, one of them exit?
It's either one. They can go in and out. Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's flexibility.
Yeah.
They're both entrances and both. They're vast spaces, so they can go in and out through both of them.
Because there is no exit in the back, why don't you arrange it like one to go in and one to go
No.
out?
The access go to the side corridor, which with the fire rated door, you push out into that fire rated corridor, then go out. That's how normally the building in New York City, if they if there's no rear exit or side exit. That's how it works. We have like the distance between two exits is comply with the code.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Thank you.
how the building works, because this is New York City. I mean, not many buildings have like a rear exits or side exits.
Yeah, and then that's what Ms. Jill was just talking about, that big places should have a back door that is accessible in case of an emergency, but you don't. And you have the C of O, so not for us to change and talk about fire codes and changing buildings.
Oh, I might
We
add.
may not like the idea,
Yeah, I might add quickly, if this place was under construction, they're great people, and it was a possible viable option, I'm sure they would put a door in the back. But at this point, there's no way possible. They took over the place. The C of O has been issued already, and they're in complete compliance with all the codes.
I got you. All right, anything else from the committee? All right, so then I will move that we deny this application unless the owner agrees to the following stipulations: that the premise will operate as a restaurant, that there'll be no sale or consumption of alcohol in the premise until appropriate authorization is issued by the SLA, that the hours of operation, as you have written, is going to be 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. That includes Sundays?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the current hours in effect.
Okay. The doors and windows will remain closed in coordination with any amplified music. There will only be background recorded music, and the sound level will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be no outdoor use. There will be no music amplified on the outside of the premise. The licensee will not use any promoter or have any promoted events. There will be no smoking. There will be at least a 20% visible view into the establishment at eye level, and it seems that you do have the garage doors. We just asked that you do not cover them for at least 20%, and that you as an applicant agree that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board and the committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. Would you agree to these stipulations?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Committee?
Yes.
A second to that?
Dr. Romelli, Chris Ellison.
Okay.
Okay, the motion is up. Okay, everyone's voted. I'm going to share the results. It's unanimous. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody, and happy holidays.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have our last one. Is a request for a new application for liquor, beer, wine, and cider. The name of the establishment is Sexy by Nature Group, Inc. The premise is located at 8121 Fifth Avenue. In case you're interested, this is right next door, facing the establishment. It is right next door to the community board office. I see that they have SBN as the name on the outside sign, but it is a Sexy by Nature. And this is to be a Japanese Latin fusion restaurant. Do we have the owner, Angel Brea present, B-R-E-A? Angel?
No, good evening, everybody. My name's Neil Visaki. I'm the attorney.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
And my
So-
client was unfortunately, he's in Florida, unable to attend
Okay.
the meeting.
All right. So the premise has a certificate of occupancy, but it does not note the number of persons allowed. Why does he say under 74?
There is a C of O.
But it's his hand. I didn't see it in there. If it
I
was,
think
it
there was a
didn't
letter
have
of
a number.
completion, which said they didn't require to change the C. It was an
I
old,
did find an old C of O.
yeah.
It is.
So then I have a
We'll move on
letter.
there.
Yeah, okay, so in 2017, a letter was generated that basically the architect certified it, and that a new C of O is not required. So it's assumed that it's under 74 occupancy.
Is
I have
that
the letter.
1934, Josephine?
Yes, it is.
I don't
Ah,
know if I don't know if you guys can see this letter of completion. I can send it in tomorrow. It's in the
Right.
buildings department.
Sure you'll send it in to Josephine, okay, when you get a chance? 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't-
sure, I could do that.
Okay. There were photos and a menu provided with the application. They will not be outdoor dining. They will only be background recorded music. And the application notes that the owner does not have any prior experience. Now, Joseph, you scroll back a little bit
May I
because looking,
one second?
scroll back to the hours of operation. You can see,
Wait,
you passed it. You
did I
passed
pass
it.
that?
See, is it gonna be open 7 days a week? Because the way he has it written, it says up to Saturday. He has the arrow under the Saturday, not the Sunday. So I couldn't write that. Is it
Can I-
Saturday
can-
or Sunday?
Can I jump in for a second?
What?
May I jump in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the question on the questionnaire was very specific as to whether my client owned or managed a similar restaurant. So he never owned one, he never managed one. However, he's been in the business since he was 16 years old. His family owns a pretty well-known restaurant in Williamsburg. They've had their license in good standing for over 16 years. My client is 26 years old, so he's been a busboy and a waiter for about 10 years or so.
What's the name
So
of this establishment?
I don't know. I can get that for you tomorrow. It's in Williamsburg. But he does have extensive experience, although he was not a manager or an owner. So I wanted to clarify that.
Okay,
Additionally, he will be hiring a full-time manager, and he will be there full-time himself.
who's managing it now?
Well, it's not open now. This was a sushi restaurant, so it's not open presently.
Oh, it
Really?
is, it's definitely open.
It's
Neil.
definitely open, Neil.
Is it?
It is.
Neil,
Well,
I
listen,
think
I spoke to him earlier. Grace, obviously spoke to him, got the ball rolling with everything, but I thought, looking at the pictures and looking at everything, that it was not open. I apologize. I
yeah,
know.
you know what, Neil,
was a
I'm going to tell
sushi
you
place.
because we've worked together in the past and this committee has worked together in the past. If
Yeah,
he didn't tell you that it's opened,
right.
it's just a reflection of what's been going on there.
No. Listen, let me just say something. I saw in the file upon my review right now that it's licensed by a sushi restaurant, and there's an active license in there now. So I didn't know if basically there's going to be I didn't really know exactly what was going on. It's my understanding that it wasn't open. But if it's open, there's certainly not. If he's in there and he's operating it now, then they're not serving liquor. So maybe he spoke to Grace several weeks ago, whatever, and he wants to get a full.
Josephine, if the change of ownership or manager comes, that license ends with the person, not
It
with the
does.
establishment.
This is a new
correct?
application. This is a new application.
Yeah.
I-
So the last owners, we knew them, were right next door,
Yeah.
and they left in the dark of night.
Uh-huh.
And I'm surprised that they didn't surrender their license, but they are not here. And they haven't been in a very long time. The establishment had a soft opening on August 13th. And they have been open.
Okay.
Since then, they've been advertised, they've been open because we've been hearing from neighbors, which we'll talk about, a little bit as we proceed, when we get to that part with
Okay.
public notice. I know Jill had her hand raised. I know she had a question.
Yeah, can I just finish?
I'm just saying it
review
doesn't
of
look
the
good that the
application first?
attorney for the restaurant didn't know that the restaurant was open. And if he's not in communication with the owner of the restaurant, that doesn't sit well with me. So.
Jill, just to interrupt you, let
Can
me
I-
just review what I've written and what I've seen and what we've heard. Okay, so he doesn't have to, be defending and talking about something, by several people. You can, of course, I'll leave time for, more comment from him and from the committee, okay? Because the first thing that struck me, Neil, and I'm sorry he's not here, And
Yep.
this is something where, it's an important thing that you would think he would be here. The idea that the name of the place is Sexy by Nature.
Right.
Like you said, sounds like it's a strip club. And on the outside, he has
Come on,
SBN.
I can't joke. I mean, this is.
Come on. It's a family business. It's a family residential neighborhood.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying. And you, as a joke, said, "Oh, it sounds like a strip club."
I mean, the only reason I joked because I had the liberty. I've been in front of your board for the last
I know.
17 years, probably.
I know.
I'm just joking, but you
know.
want me to be serious? I'll be very serious.
No, but
Wait,
you know what?
no, let me just say something because I'm offended because I've been doing liquor licenses for about 13 years now.
Go ahead.
Always on my files. We have a very busy office. The way things come into my office, they sit with Grace, who's been doing liquor licenses for 30 years plus. The clients come in, they meet with her, they do a lot of things, and now this meeting popped up, and basically I was told that I have to attend the meeting because my client is out of town. And I got the whole file, I looked at it all. I spoke to my client for about 15 minutes earlier, and I was truly under the assumption, wrongfully so, that the place was built out because there was a prior licensee in there. And I saw that it was a new license application. So it was only fair to me to assume that they were, going in as a new restaurant. I did not know they were there since August. I apologize, but
I'm not
up as a restaurant.
Neil, I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you. I know what it feels like walking into something. And I think that some of the things you're going to hear right now, you're going to be on the phone with your client in a little while.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So if you just write this down on page 4 of the application, he said that he reviewed the New York Nightlife NYPD recommendations, but he left blank that he would follow the recommendations. Page 4. We asked the
Okay. So it's by the way, this is Grace's handwriting. It's a clerical error. So, I'm sure she spoke to him as she does all the clients, and she goes over the application with them.
Okay.
So do you want to? Okay. So
I'll write it. Clerical error. I'm going to write all this down as you are. Okay. Josephine, you sit right in the office next to the wall, and you tell me that there is loud music heard coming from your establishment. When they said there's only going to be background music. Now you're there during the day most times, correct, Josephine?
Correct.
So do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. So what I want to say to the applicant and to the committee is that I did speak to someone who introduced himself as an owner, but his name was Mel. He was not the name that's on the application. I haven't spoken to Angel, but I can say that I did speak to Mel and say 2 things. One is that several times I have heard loud music penetrating through the wall. When the board did public notice for the application, we received 5 phone calls from neighbors above the establishment, and they're all very concerned that this is not a restaurant with background music, that it is a night spot. That you could see here in this photo is serving hookah, which is also not permitted in New York City any longer post 2017.
Now, Josephine, that is one of the accoutrements to light it. What is that? Or is that where it's attached to?
Yeah, I mean, this is a hookah and the top is called the head. And so there's hookah smoking going on next door.
Right now, I believe it's at least 5 or 6 years. New York City Council declared that no more hookah lounges were allowed to open, correct?
Right, correct. And so when we got word of that, we did a little bit of background search and saw some Yelp reviews that are online that discuss reviews about the hookah specifically. That you could see here, and Neil, we've done these in the last few days. I could share this with you.
Yep.
Also,
and I just want to say that there is a picture of some young man. It seems like a man smoking the hookah.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Let's see if I could. Yeah, I thought I could share this. Anyway, there's a link on Facebook too, if you were to look at it on the establishment and you go in and there's someone actually smoking hookah and there's DJ music. It's DJ music. And just to share with you some of the emails, I'd like to express my concern over the establishment Sexy by Nature. There are residential units above and the noise level is out of hand. They are applying for a liquor license, yet they are already selling alcohol. I know this because I can hear the DJ promoting $5 shots at 11:40 p.m. on a Sunday night. This establishment is negatively affecting my family's quality of life. So this is what we heard in response to public notice. And I just mentioned again that the Smoke-Free Air Act, hookah is not permitted in New York City any longer. For the method of operation, there was no indication of DJ music. It
specifically said background music only.
Only, right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So.
And it just, and the few people that also called said it just doesn't feel like the method of operation of this establishment is going to be a restaurant, that it feels more like a night spot.
You see the menu? I mean, there is a full menu.
I
full
see that.
kitchen. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Look, this is all absolutely news to me, undoubtedly. So, I mean, you folks will do whatever you want, but I suggest maybe limiting, strict stipulations and really limiting the hours, and then maybe it can't become a night spot. You follow me?
You see, my
And
thing.
then I'll just, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'll be honest, I've never been in a situation like this where I come here, I review an entire file, I speak with the client for 15 minutes. I have all my facts here on its face. It looks perfect. And now you're telling me all this. I'm not denying it, but I'm just being blindsided.
When Josephine, I go earlier in the past week, I get the files, and when she told me this, and then the emails came in and the pictures came in, I said, I know Neil. I said, and he's a very strong attorney, and he comes in with his facts. I said, and this is not the first time we've had, very reputable attorneys come in representing clients, and they are blindsided by them. And I said, oh, Neil's not going to take good to this. So, I know it's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed.
No, I'm not really embarrassed. I'll be honest with you, because
it's not you.
Right.
It's not you. We understand that. So, but my thing when I was talking to Josephine is that if he's doing this in anticipation of a liquor license,
right?
What is this going to be like when he gets it?
Yeah, you know what? I did not have a chance. I always read my clients the riot act. Trust me, I've been around. I don't want to start talking about my past 20 years with the PD. I shut down 800 places, nuisance abatement myself. I know exactly what keeps a place out of trouble. I know exactly. Underage violence, drugs, and noise. And when I have a moment, I always speak to my clients and I say, look, you're going to put a lot of money into an investment. You want to make a lot of money. Believe me, if you don't play by the rules, especially in your community board,
right,
then eventually they sink, and the fines at the liquor authority are going to kill them. And I give them my whole speech. I did not have a chance to do that now. I'm sorry that it's not a new application, because that's exactly what I would have done. So at this point, if he's not behaving at this point, when all this stuff is taking on, since he's had a soft opening since August 13th, the only thing I could say is I'll sit down with him. I'll certainly have a very, very, very lengthy, strong conversation. And, if you folks, like I said, want to give him a chance, because basically there seems to be, at least on its face, a good method of operation. I think limiting the hours, I mean, it's a small place. It's built out already. It's a restaurant bar, extensive menu, Japanese, Latin fusion, no outdoor space, no upstairs. He's agreeing to no promoters. I mean, it looks good on its face for sure. So I would only hope or suggest that maybe we can, keep it real tight. And then, like I said, I'll call him.
Yeah. My question, and I'm sure the board will have something to say, is that,
I would really limit the hours. Look, if I was on the board, once you limit somebody's hours, there's only so much they can do. You shut a place down 7 days a week, 12 o'clock until they prove themselves, then there's only so much they could do.
I know, but Josephine has already spoken to this male manager and nothing has done.
Okay.
The smoking hookah, which that's been illegal to open up a new hookah lounge for almost 5 years now. You
Yeah.
have a DJ when it's supposed to be only soft background music. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to leave it to the board. Do you want to deny the application unless the owner agrees to, and I have several stipulations as usual, or do you want to deny it outright? Jill, you speak.
Well, I just want to say KYC, which is a very common term in business. It's know your client. And you're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sure you know that, Neil. And I'm sorry for you, but I'm not happy with this because you can't come to a board meeting without knowing your client. So if you don't know your client, the neighborhood's not going to know your client. So I'm opposed to this 100% because of
Jill,
the way.
I'm going to say, attorneys, representatives have many clients.
Barbara,
Sometimes.
Barbara, let me finish. I understand that and I respect that, but it's really not an excuse. People have to know their clients, okay? And I know that you're friendly with Neil and everybody knows Neil. No, you said you said the community.
Only from the community board meetings.
Okay, so meaning the community board knows Neil, but that doesn't give a pass to the client or Neil representing the client. That's all. And I trust Josephine and I trust the people who live in the neighborhood and I trust the information that we got tonight. All I'm saying is know your client and there's just no excuse for that. Regardless, this is business.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's it.
I'm just saying we've had several premises and owners where the lawyers come and they are shocked. And,
yes, and I've been at meetings with several of them and it's okay. They could be shocked, but that doesn't make it any better for my opinion about it. Right.
Of course. Anybody else?
Marty?
I am troubled by the fact that this establishment is directly next door to the district office, and yet the owner manager has been so disrespectful of sort of the community standard and has been doing these things before even open. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're right next door to the district office and still you're doing this is deeply troubling. The hookah is not good. We're not open and we're already having community outcry. I would be open to hearing from from the owner before taking any action. Perhaps that would be helpful or something this board would like to consider. That's all I have.
Well, he had his chance tonight. Sandy.
Yeah, Barbara. Talk about starting off on the wrong foot. This guy really started off on the wrong foot. Neil, I don't envy your position at all. I mean, you must feel horrible, but being that he started with hookah, which is illegal, with everything that I've heard that's going on Yelp and everything that's been coming from this establishment, and we already have neighbors complaining. I
selling
think
alcohol.
I think it's my personal opinion that maybe this guy should look for another way to make a living, because I don't think he's going to succeed in doing it with this one. I would recommend in just denying the application.
Okay.
And if you'd like to make a motion, I'll make a motion to that effect.
You can do that.
I do make a motion to not accept the.
You want to deny the application?
Yes. I was looking for the words. Thank you, Barbara.
Sandy, what about if you change it and just say withdraw the application and let Neil go back to his client and they work it over and come back?
No, he knew when it was. He filled out the
Yeah, but
application.
Nick, the problem I have is that they've been open since August. They've already put hookah in there. They're already advertising shots. We already have neighbors complaining. All this is going on and technically, legally, we have not started, and this place hasn't opened yet.
I agree
So
with you.
imagine what's gonna happen later on.
I agree with you, but knowing Neil, I think he's going to dispose his client in so he's not going to be our issue the next time around.
Nicholas, regardless, they're not applying to the law. They're serving alcohol without a license. They're serving hookah. They're not supposed to be. So I second the motion to deny. I second the motion to deny.
Okay, that's it.
If they're serving alcohol now without license, let the police do their job. Let them know if they're a
But
certain.
we're the community board and we're here to deny their
We are
application.
advisory.
A point of order. We have a motion.
So we're
We have a
advisory to
second.
deny.
We have a seconded. I don't know if there's any discussion on the wording of the motion. It was to deny, that there's no other wording for that motion. We put it to a vote, and Nick, of course, you are free to vote it down if you need to. Josephine?
Okay. Oh, sorry, give me a second.
Of course. So we're voting to deny,
Okay, voting to deny. Okay.
or if you oppose, Nick, then you say, I don't
No,
want to.
I am not opposing. I just was given another
You
solution.
can if you
No,
want.
I'm voting to deny that. I have no problem with
You can
that.
do whatever you want. I don't want you to feel that, whatever way you want it to go.
No, I just was given another way out.
That's fine.
Can I say one more thing before you guys
Whoa,
vote?
wait, I didn't vote.
Didn't vote.
I didn't vote.
All right, you
Okay,
want to take it back, Josephine, and do it again?
yeah,
Okay, take it back and do it again.
We're voting to deny, or we're voting for the motion in favor or deny the application.
In favor means you're agreeing to deny the application.
That's correct.
All
Wait,
right?
say that
If you
again?
are- If you are in favor of this motion, you want to deny it outright. If you do not want to deny it outright, you want to have stipulations and you oppose.
Can I speak for a moment?
Sure.
Hello?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so a quick question. So, I mean, I'm gonna assume that we're gonna file this with the liquor authority. Assuming your community board is not in favor. I know you'll write a letter to the liquor authority.
Yes.
So I'm assuming we're gonna file this anyway. So my question becomes, to protect the community, I mean, you never really know what the liquor authority is going to do, but once we file it, I'll be quite honest with you. I would rather have super strict stipulations than just letting it ride. And the only reason I say that, because it'll give me an opportunity to speak to my client, tell them exactly what's expected from you folks. And, it may turn out to be something amazing that, you'll be surprised. To just basically deny it where there's an investment in the business. I mean, he has a lease. I mean, we have everything to file this. I'm not saying it would be worse. All I'm saying is that if there's a chance that the liquor authority is going to approve this license 4 a.m. across the board with no stipulations, I don't see how that's really protecting the community. I'd rather say,
I plan to also have a meeting myself with the state liquor authority, because not only for this place, but for others. We work very hard to protect our community.
100, yes, I
And
agree.
you know what? And sometimes a message has to be sent that some businesses and some owners should not be in this business. And we're going to say that, because if this is what you're doing before you have a license, and I don't think it was a clerical oversight that they said that they will not follow the police recommendations. I don't think there was an oversight.
No, listen, that handwriting, listen, please, give me 1 second, okay? This can be prepared by the applicant or the licensee or the attorney or the representative. Like I said, Grace spoke with this person. I don't even know how many meetings Grace had with this person. She filled this out and it's in her entirety. I'm sure by conversing with the applicant. That's a clerical error, okay? I can guarantee you. So please.
And it's been a clerical error in the
No,
past,
yeah,
and I
okay.
understand that. But
Okay, so-
you have spoken with your client. You're saying that your office has spoken with him several times, and he has never said
Right.
that he is opened. He's got hookah. He's got a DJ. He's got liquor being sold. He's never.
That was the
said,
first of all, look,
That's
that was,
terrible.
no, none of that was conveyed to me, okay? If you're gonna make the statement that liquor is, that's a very serious, it's a very
Yes.
serious, listen, if the police went there and they saw alcohol, it would be an illegal social club, they would never get a license. But complaints by residents who live upstairs that, look, the music is the music, I get it. If you're next door and you hear the music, I understand. But, things that are going on Yelp and all this other stuff, those are all allegations.
And Neil, I just want to just say that,
Yeah.
it is next door to the community board office and, we know all the residents and the residents have been here a very long time. And I think in this case, very genuinely speaking, Marty, you had your hand raised?
Thank you. I mean, we have not just community members, which of course we take seriously, but we have the district manager of Community Board 10 coming over before you're open, complaining about noise.
Yep.
And talk to me about the name. How is Sexy by Nature reflect anything having to do with a food or a restaurant? I mean, it's blatant. And to the point made earlier, there's just only so much that we can approve with stipulations when from the get-go we have so obviously a club masquerading as a restaurant. We just can't have
Maybe
that. Our
maybe
community
I
has
should go
been
there.
through.
Maybe I should go there Friday night. Everybody want to join me?
Gotta try it.
Look,
Come on.
again, I can, everybody's absolutely entitled to their feeling and opinions as to what they've seen so far. So I guess it is what it is. I was not aware of any of this.
Right.
Your client. Again, I'll be honest with you, I was never blindsided by this. Once in Queens on a karaoke place when, I had one problem. I like this where there was a soft opening 6 months ago. I never, ever had this problem ever. I guarantee it. So it's shocking. You're right. It's shocking. And when I spoke with him, I asked him all the basic questions. I didn't say, were you open? When I got the application, your questionnaire, I was assuming that it was a place that simply went out of business. He told me he owns a haircut shop. His client is a realtor in the neighborhood. The realtor told him about it. And he always wanted to be in the restaurant business because he's been doing it since he's 16. So it was very, very safe on its face. And that's exactly how I was going to be prepared to speak with you folks tonight. As a matter of fact, before we even got to this point, I was expecting you to say, you denied it unless the stipulations go down the whole thing. Give me some hours, and I was going to say thank you. So it is what it is. We'll just have to handle it. We'll just have to handle it accordingly. I guess. You guys will do what you guys do best, and I guess I'll just file the application. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Don't you question the name at all? Doesn't that raise a flag?
No, absolutely not.
For a
Absolutely.
restaurant?
No, it's a Japanese Latin fusion. It's almost like a catchy thing. No, absolutely not. I have the photographs here. It's built out. There's a bar. There's tables. I'm looking at the diagrams right here. I have pictures of the place. It was a sushi place, and now it's going to be a Japanese Latin fusion restaurant. No, it's Bay Ridge, Sexy by Nature.
Neil, if you go on, I did tonight before this meeting. If you go to Facebook, there are some videos there with the type of music, loud music, and you'll see get a sense of the method of operation.
I understand you loud and clear. I don't know. like I said, sometimes things get corrected like immediately. Once I give that call tomorrow and be like, what the frig is going on? What do you think you're doing there? You know, things can change pretty quickly. If nobody believes that's the look, maybe they thought that they're just trying to make some money before they get their license. I don't know. What I'm saying is that, you know.
Sorry, Neil, stop talking. Because
Oh, thank-
honestly, please stop talking. Because
No problem.
honestly, it's a little bit insulting. Because to say that they're going to get a liquor license regardless, and we should give
I never
stipulations.
said.
No, you did say that there's a chance they'll get it anyway, so we should give stipulations. We
No,
have done that. Neil,
Again,
let me finish.
You're very good
We
at putting words
have,
in people's
Neil, you said that.
Oh my
We
God.
have done this before, and the stipulations were not followed.
Okay.
We, as a community, are here to help the residents in this community.
I
For
agree.
you to say that we should give them a chance because they most likely will get this liquor license
I
anyway, so
never
we should
said
give
they
them
would-
stipulations
You kindly
and we will
not
have
put
a
words in my
better chance.
mouth. I don't appreciate it.
No, we can roll
Don't
the
put words in my
tape.
mouth. Would you like me to reiterate what I said?
You said
I'll tell you
that
what I
they're
said.
most likely.
Never said
will-
that.
Okay.
I never said they're most
Regardless.
No, that's a big thing.
All right,
Regardless.
we know what's going
regardless.
on. You know what? The vote has been passed. We voted to deny it. And sometimes you have to do that so that if there is a problem, then the police know that we didn't want this establishment there. And that's why we do that. If they get their license and suddenly they become wonderful citizens, amen to that. But with that, Sandy, I really want to end it. Is there anything?
I just want to say one more thing.
Go ahead. That's it. Sandy's it.
Neil is within his rights to follow whatever he wants to do. Nobody can stop him.
Of course.
But I would further recommend to protect the community after everything that we've heard before, after everything we've heard tonight.
That we've read a letter to the state liquor authority.
that we file our own letter with the state liquor authority and give them all that we have, whether it's Facebook, whether it's neighbors, because that's well within our rights to do so as well.
100%.
Right. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, Neil.
Okay. Have a
Good
good
luck
night.
to you. To everyone, happy holidays, happy New Year, happy Hanukkah still going on, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Kwanzaa if I missed anything.
All right.
Good night.
See you the next
Good
week.
night.